ready, Chairman, you can call the meeting to order.
Let's call the meeting to order.
All right, we'll begin with the reading of the Open Public Meetings Act statement on February 3rd, 2025. Notice of this meeting was placed on the official Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency website and emailed to both the Courier Post and Gloucester City News newspapers for publication. The official notice to Borough Clerk was emailed on February 3rd, 2025, which included requests for posting of the notice to the official Borough Bellmawr website and bulletin board. All requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been met in compliance with the Sunshine Law. Brings us to the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, brings us to a roll call. Chairman Philpott.
Here.
Vice Chair Bider.
Here.
Commissioner D'Angelo.
Here.
Commissioner Whitman.
Here.
Commissioner Patel. Commissioner Simpson.
Here.
Commissioner Beck. Management professionals, Josh Rear, Executive Director. I am here. Mike McKenna, Solicitor.
Present.
And Dennis McNulty, Engineer.
Here.
Hey, Dennis, I want to thank you for everything you did for me.
No problem, Frank. Glad to do it.
So it brings us to the reading of the minutes. That would be standard agenda for this evening. Reading of the minutes from the last meeting, which was the reorg meeting, January 28th, 2025. Just need a motion.
I'll make a motion. Second.
So I got Mr. Simpson on the motion and Chairman on the second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. Communications, we received the redevelopers report, which was included in the email that I sent you earlier today. And of course, Michael will review that with everybody. The any commissioner reports?
None.
Brings us to my report. Been kind of busy the last month or so. As you guys received, audit 2023 was completed. We're going to certify tonight via resolution. Once again, happy to state that there were 0 findings and recommendations, and that'll mark the 6th consecutive year of that. Audit 2024 is nearly completed, and if the meeting was next Tuesday, we'd probably be presenting both, but we'll do that in March, and I have no reason to expect the same result. So budget 2025 we entered that last meeting, so got to get the packet up to the state and they approve it, and then we'll look to adopt that at the March meeting as well. The new thing this year for the audit, turns out I got to take a cybersecurity course annually, and the JIF was I was lucky enough to be informed about one that the JIF offers, and was able to complete that in time for the audit, so it wouldn't be a strike against us. But again, it's just seem to be getting more regulated with these types of items. And then want to work with Mike's office to begin the contract process, get an early start this year on that. Been updating all the website to reflect all current 2025 info. And then published I can't see that. I wrote it. The regular meeting schedule and the audit 2023 to the public. Any questions for me before I kick it over to Mike? Mike, it's all you, sir.
Okay, folks, this particular redevelopers report was sort of chock full of milestones and whatnot, to the extent that I didn't have to, but wanted to call Don and just go through what he had talked about had been accomplished most recently. But since it's dated, I also asked him what's next, what's the status of this. So those topics included the county discussions with DOT, which are pending in the near future, the March 5th Deptford Planning Board meeting, which oddly enough, I'm going to happen to be there with a private application. So I've been tracking that Deptford application, the Green Acres, which we are said to have a final approval on, right down to the nitty gritty. The title closing that's being worked on by David Weinstein, fairly massive undertaking, and I'll probably circle back to that in a minute. And the recording of our subdivision plats. Now, what I've done with Don is to ask him for copies of certain permits. And why? Not because I'm going to change them or proofread them or build, but I think we, Josh in particular, should be archiving important approvals. Granted, the redeveloper is obtaining these approvals with our consent and for our benefit, but I think we ought to be generating an archive. And so to that end, he's agreed to provide me with at least 4 types of the approval documents: the Green Acres approval, the subdivision plan, the waterfront development permit, which is a very important permit, and the TWA permit. And I have to confess, I think that's sewer, but I forgot to ask Don if that was sewer. But all of these, yes, Dennis? Okay, good guess. So I think we should basically have a place, an archive, where these important documents of the approval are kept by us for access. And so we'll do that. The closing I mentioned, I'll do this briefly, is going to be a bear when you think about it. So first, the redeveloper has to deed property to the borough and to Deptford. Then the borough deeds that property to our agency, along with the property that the borough already owns. Deptford deeds their properties that they got from the redeveloper to us here at the agency, and BWD deals West Deptford property to us, these West Deptford property. All of these we anticipate will be done in a single closing. It's going to be an interesting day. But that's why we want to make sure that we've got everything buttoned down before we come to you and say, okay, commissioners, we recommend you're authorizing us to go to closing. We are satisfied, that'll be David and I, that all conditions of our approval required in the closing documents have been met, and we'll explain it to you. We will not go to a closing without a green light from the commissioners. But as you can see, it's going to be a fairly intense closing. I'd like it to happen in one day, and it probably will. I've been crazier, but that's about it from me.
Any questions for Mike before we move into new business? All right, I also, before we begin with the resolution pledging certification of the audit, I just wanted to remind everybody that part of the process is I have to have all of the commissioners sign an affidavit, and preferably they like it on the same form and original signatures. So just like in years past, I'll probably reach out to people starting tomorrow to try to get that thing circulated and get it done, because I think it's 10 days that I have to get it back up to the state. So so just be on the lookout for that, and we'll figure that out. All right. Yeah, any questions?
Good report job, the card there, Josh. You'll see that in the audit. No findings.
Thank you, sir. So it brings us to new business. The resolution number 2020-25, resolution of the Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency pledging certification of the annual audit 2023 by the Board of Commissioners.
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
So I have Mr. Whitman on the motion. I got the chairman on the second. This is a roll call item. So Chairman Philpott?
Yes.
Vice Chair Bider?
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo?
Yes.
Commissioner Whitman?
Yes.
Commissioner Patel? Or I'm sorry, he's not here. Commissioner Simpson?
Yes.
So brings us to resolution number 2:021-25, authorizing payment of outstanding bills.
Make a motion.
Well, thank you, Chairman. Just need a second.
I second it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Whitman. Brings us to a roll call. Chairman Philpott?
Yes.
Vice Chair Bider?
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo,
Yes.
Commissioner Whitman,
Yes.
and Commissioner Simpson.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. That's all the new business I have for this evening. Brings us to a public portion. I don't see anybody on the line, but give it a 3-second delay as always. All right, that brings us to an adjournment.
Ray, before we go, Ray, Ray, I tried to call you. Remember that building you was interested in?
The what?
Yeah, well, they're knocking that down, in 6 months.
What building?
For the VFW thing you were looking at?
Yeah.
Remember the one Patel and them own?
No. I don't know what you're asking.
Well, you were looking for a building for the VFW. Remember you asked me to look into that building for you?
Well,
I think it might be good if we adjourn the meeting.
Never mind. Never mind.
No, I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
well, let's not clutter the public record.
Well, no, I'm not cutting. I just told me.
And I apologize for butting in. I'm just safe, sorry, all that stuff.
It's nothing secret anyway, so don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
All right, so again, we've come to an adjournment. Just need a motion.
Make your motion to adjourn.
All right, thank you, Mr. Simpson.
Second.
All right, thank you, Mr. D'Angelo. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Good night, everybody.
See you next month.
Good night.
And like I said, I'll be reaching
Thanks,
out to
fellas.
everybody in the next day or so. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
No birds.
Thank you.